Yeah, so I'm going to take you through a little tour of the major enhancements we have for the July release. And I'll start out here. This is our Ligand List page. And so from here, we have a new button that will let people search for ligands based on a structure, and they can draw a structure, or they can edit a smiles, or additionally, you can load things through the Marvin interface, like, for example, just loading clozapine. And so this is useful. Say you have a new compound is shown up in your screening, and you want to find what's similar from TCRD, and then subsequently all the target information we would know about that. And so how this works, there's right, so you input your structure in some way, and then you can either search for similar compounds. So these would just be compounds that match in the whole structure, and or by substructure. So you would find compounds that match in some portion of the molecule. And so I'll just do a similarity search here. And you remember the input was clozapine, and then obviously clozapine shows up with a perfect similarity, along with a sorted list of, in this case, 132 compounds. And we're showing a facet here for the similarity. So you could filter this if you wanted to filter your lists. Like normal, you have all the same options from the list, so you could even download this list, or and the associated targets, for example, if that's what you wanted to do. Another useful facet here that's new is the target count facet. So based on these 132 ligands in the list, we have activity information for a certain number of targets. So like highly specific compounds would be, have only a few targets, or at least based on the information we have, or very promiscuous targets would be up here, where they bind to a bunch of different targets. I'll just navigate to one of the ligand details pages. So this is similar to what's been there before. So we have a list of all the targets that are known to be associated with clozapine, but now we can explore that in the target list, and we have all the same tools that we have with, looking at all the same sets of facets and information. So this is new, but this was sort of a gap in our functionality, because you could navigate to target lists based on a binding partner, based on an associated target, or based on an associated disease. And now you can navigate this list based on an associated ligand. And again, you see all the same sorts of facets. The facet tells you sort of the marginal distributions of what the different facet values are. So for example, the Go process, 30 of these are G protein coupled receptors, and 22 of them are involved in synaptic transmission. But I'm just working on this now, but we'd like to show an upset plot where you can see more of the joint distribution between what the targets in the list, and you will be able to filter this list based on the combinations if you wanted targets that are G protein coupled and also involved in synaptic transmission. And then you see the example. So from here, just continuing the tour, I'll pick a target. We also sort of renovated this related tools section, where we're showing all the different sort of IDG partner tools, or related, other useful tools from what we have. And so I just switched to a kinase, and we'll see that this list is growing, and you can jump to any of those. One interesting one that Tudor mentioned early, we have the Taiga data here, and we're showing that on the target details pages, and also linking those to the disease pages for the diseases that we can resolve. So if you see a lot of these are not really diseases, but just other measurements. But the ones that are diseases, you can also see sort of a pivot of the same data based on a disease. So that's the whirlwind tour of the July release.